Welcome to the Dr. S.M.A.R.T podcast. I have various US and international accounting and tax designations, a master's in tax, and a PhD in business administration with a concentration in finance and accounting. Over the past 2 decades, I have helped several SMEs succeed. This podcast will provide strategies and resources to help startups and existing businesses thrive. Let's get started. Hello, everyone. Good evening or good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to 2023. I'm just so excited because, it's just really a blessing to enter into a new year. And so I'm very, very excited. And very excited for everyone that has been listening or tuning into this program. We have very many great things in 2023. We have, apart from people coming up to share their problems or their issues, their business issues. We have even resource people that will come and appear in 2023. We had some last year. I know we started at the last quarter of 2023, 2022, but I'm very excited that it's going to be really great. Better than we saw in 2022. Very happy with everything that happened in 2022, but 2023 is going to be a great and even a better year. And just excited and very happy. And just shout out there to every single person that has been so wonderful, just tuning in and also giving their time. Many people came up in 2022 and shared their issues, their problems, and business issues, and was able to give them some advice, which I'm hoping that it will also help other people, because the goal of anyone coming here to share their that business issues or business struggles is for me to respond, and somebody out there will say, okay, yeah, this is also happening to me. And so I'm very grateful for anyone or everyone that's just come up to share their problem or their business issues, because I know it helps somebody else. I also want to thank those that sent in questions. Some people recorded their questions on the phone or send me a message, and it was really awesome. I was able to, and even sometimes emails, and I was very happy because I got to answer some of those questions, which I also believe would also help other people that were listening to the program that had similar problems or similar issues. So really happy with what happened in 22. It was the beginning of great things, and 2023 again will be a greater year. So just to say a big thank you, a big shout out to all those that spent time to make this program better and than what I thought it would be. Really exciting. I'm so excited at where it is right now. Of course, as I said, 2023 will be a greater year, compared to all that we achieved in 2022. So really wanted to start by saying thank you, a big, big thank you. All right. And this is 2023. And I know that some of you have already written New Year resolutions, which is fantastic. Great. But we're going to zero into your business New Year resolutions, or business, I would say business goals, right? What are your goals? What is it that you want to achieve? Your business wants to achieve in 2023, right? What is it that you want to achieve, right? And if you haven't written or have any plans, or you just said, oh, you just want to continue existing or continue moving forward, I would suggest you go back to the drawing board and write some goals down. Now, I'm going to give you some pointers that will help you. I'm hoping that it will help you to strategize and realign your goals. Sometimes you might have already written your goals down, and you are trying to, struggle with, okay, how do you achieve those goals? We're going to talk about that now. You might not have written any goals, and you were just saying, you know what, this might be a time. Well, we're just going to help you to, as I'm going to help as you're writing those goals, you think of what I'm going to discuss today, right? And so I'm going to talk about SMART goals. This is a very popular mnemonics, right? Is a mnemonic that people use to set their goals. So, I mean, you can actually do research on it, but I came across this and I said, you know what? This is really a great time to share this with everyone listening to my program. So it's very important to share this, right? So when you're writing, first of all, when you're writing goals, I mean, how do you even write these goals? What do you write? How do you write? What do you write? So I'm going to look at the mnemonics of SMART, right? Again, it's a very popular strategy for businesses to use when they're setting up their goals. All right, SMART. Yes, the word S.M.A.R.T. SMART. So the S stands for specific. Your goals must be specific. I'm going to break everything down, but I just want to, go through the SMART, the letters. The goals must be specific, right? The M is measurable. You must measure your goals, right? And then A, attainable. You should be able to, are they reachable? Are they impossible? Are they reachable, right? Can you actually say that you can attain those goals? Right? R is relevant. Are they relevant? And I'm going to dig in a little bit further. And then, of course, T is time. Time, is it time bound? It has to be time bound. It has to be, this is what you want to achieve within a period of time. So I like using practical examples, specific. Somebody might say that, I want my business to do well. That's not specific. What does it mean? My business to do well. That's just a general statement. So when you say specific, are you saying that my business should increase sales? You see what I mean? Specific, right? Are you saying that, when you say my business should do well, specific, this year I want my business to increase sales, right? That is specific. Or we have a lot of expenses, a lot of wastage in 2022. This year I want to focus on shrinking my expenses. That is specific. Right? If you increase revenue and your expenses remain the same, you're going to make more money, right? For example, let me just throw a number out there. You make your revenue, that's your sales and everything, sales revenue, you make 100,000. And this year you want to make 200,000, but your revenue, your expenses, you want to really make it really, let's say your expenses were like 40,000. For the purpose of this example, if you're on 100,000 minus 40,000, you make 60,000, right? If your expenses will be relatively the same, let's even add 10,000. If you make 200,000 and you spend 50,000 in expenses, you're going to make 150,000, right? So let your goals be specific, right? Some people might say, I want to have more presence. Right? I want to have more presence, like people, I want people to know my company, like let it be known in many places, like let people know about my company, right? Well, that's not bad. You want to create awareness. There's nothing wrong with that. But when we're saying awareness, you want to make sure that your community knows what you're doing. You want to make sure that you're out there. Maybe you're in business that is global, like you want to, or maybe national or statewide. You want people that are statewide to know you. You don't want it to just be in your community. So those are specific goals, right? I gave you something that is not specific. I wanted my business to do well. That is not specific. Right? So first of all, when you're setting goals for your small business, make sure they're specific. Sit back and say, specific goals. So now you've identified this is the specific goal. Now let's go to the M, measurable. Now, if you say you want to increase revenue without a figure, now you might say, I want to increase revenue, but we have to be measurable. Okay, I made a certain amount. I want to increase revenue by 10%. I want to increase revenue by at least 10% or more. I want to increase revenue by 30% or more, right? right? I want to increase revenue. You know, of course, we're going to, when you said you want to increase revenue, of course, these are the measurable, right? 20%, 30%, 40%. Of course, you have to know how to go about it, right? This is what your goal is. You have to know how to go about it. If you're doing what you did last year, if this is 2023, if you're doing, or if you did, or like this is, as I said, this is 2023, and you did what you did last year, this year, and 2023, you're doing what you did last year in respect of marketing or product, you just remain the same. How would you increase your revenue? So when you're measuring, you want to increase your revenue maybe by 20%, but you have to, what are you going to do to increase that revenue? That's how you think of your goals, right? That's how you think of your goals that are measurable. You know, you might set goals that, okay, yes, this is what I want to achieve, and this is how I want to achieve it, right? And that's why the next point, you know, we're talking about measurement, 20%. Some people say, I want people to know me more, right? Then you might say, okay, you want maybe to, increase your social media presence, right? By doing this and that and this, right? Maybe by putting Facebook ads out, TikTok, all kinds of social media. I mean, I really promote social media because social media is a platform where you can actually really push out or market your business at a very reasonable price. I know that small businesses lack resources. I won't say lack, have limited resources. So I always try my best to say, okay, how do you maximize these resources, right? How do you make them spread bigger than, how do you make little resources work more and not allowing it to do as much as you would want it to do. All right. So measurable. It must be what? Measurable. Make sure you're able to measure. Now, achievable. Now, when we talk about achievable, we must make sure when we don't put ridiculous goals, right? Is it achievable, right? Somebody might, and I believe that a goal that is very difficult to achieve. Sometimes it happens, but you might say that, within a month, I want to increase revenue by 100%. Okay, let me even make it even more, as I said, hard to achieve. Or within 1 month, 1 week, I want to increase revenue by 100%, right? Let's say you made 200,000 in 2022, and you want to make 400,000 in the first week of 2023. That is really, I would say that it is very unachievable, because usually the first week of the year, people are just stepping into work, right? Businesses are some businesses are already situated, but a lot of times, it depends on what you're doing. But really, I really think it's not achievable if you tell me that you made 200,000 in 2022 and your goal is to achieve the 100% increase in the first week of 2023. I would say that that's unachievable. So do not have goals that are difficult to achieve. Make sure your goals are achievable. Now, let's talk about measurement. You might say, okay, over the time, I want to increase revenue by 20% within 6 months, right? Every week, I'll look at how we can increase revenue maybe by 2%, 5%, put parameters in place, right? You might say that, another example I would give that, okay, you want to increase your presence in your community, right? Or in the state, right? Make sure that maybe you can say that, okay, within this period, I want to put in a lot of funds in social media marketing, right? So there are ways, right? But make sure that it's achievable. Make sure that what you put in place is really achievable. All right, is achievable. You can achieve those goals. Don't put yourself under any pressure, right? Even when you have some small businesses have staff that into marketing for them. Please make sure that those goals are achievable. Make sure that even if you have someone that works for you that is doing your marketing, make sure that those goals that you're putting on that person, that those goals are achievable. Okay, very important. Okay, so remember we're talking about SMART. We talked about what? Specific, measurable, achievable. Those are SMA, right? Make sure they're achievable, right? Do not put yourself under any kind of pressure. Of course, I'm not saying that you should not work hard, because sometimes to achieve a goal, you must, make sure you put in the hours, make sure you stay up late, I'm not talking about that. But when you keep putting a goal, when there's any goal, make sure these goals are, again, achievable. Okay. All right. So the other one, which is, remember we said SMART, right? SMA. Now we're on the R. I mentioned it, relevant. Now, it's so important when you have a goal in your business, you have goals that are towards your progress of your business. The goal must not be what? Irrelevant, right? Irrelevant. Let me give an example of an irrelevant goal. Okay. For example, you are really looking into producing, let's say you're looking into producing, maybe you're into sales of let's see, furniture sales, and you want to get it out there that you make very beautiful furniture, for example. And then you start looking for resources on shoes. Somebody brings write-ups to you and you look at, you want to look into shoes. Now, if you're planning to diversify into shoes, that's totally different. But remember, you're focusing on, okay, you want to make your furniture, maybe there's something out there that actually increases the beauty of furniture. There's something out there that you found out that, there's a technology that even will make sure that the building of the furniture is faster, and something like that. That is towards your goal. But if somebody starts looking at goals that, okay, they want to look at shoes, the production of shoes, right? You have to really make sure that doesn't happen. Now, I just gave you an example that there are so many. Like, I'm just imagining somebody that's into dog grooming, dogs, puppies, grooming, right? Then you tell your staff, go and do some research. Do some research that you want to look at how many people have dogs or puppies, or how many people have it in this neighborhood. That's your goal. You want to start sending flyers out, so you're asking your staff, or to go out there and do some analysis for you, so you know where to send your flyers to. And this person brings analysis of people that own cats, spending time, people that own cats. Remember, you asked for should the goal, and the person is happy. So these are the data. Or the person brings dogs. In fact, the person brings data that includes all pets, right? Because many people have different pets. I know people that have turtles as pets. People have all kinds of, but you said you wanted specifics, right? So that was just a waste of time. The person that you sent out to do the job did something that wasted his or her time. And that's why going over those goals, make sure when you're giving instructions for someone to do anything for your business that there has to be specific instructions. Okay, specific instructions. All right. So remember, we're talking about SMART, right? Every goal must be relevant to your business, relevant to your success, relevant to where you're going, right? SMART. Right. So that person that decided that the person has a dog grooming business, as I said, and the staff or the assistant went to get a list of names of people that have all kinds of pets. That is not aligned with the goal of your business, right? So you have to make sure that when you're setting goals, the goals are relevant. The goals are relevant. Now, your staff might not even have maybe yes, the person could have made an honest mistake, but I would say that you have to have make sure you give anybody working with you clear cut instructions. Okay, clear-cut instructions. All right, make sure it's clear. In fact, I would say let the person, it could be documented or something to make sure that they understand what is it that you're looking for. That's an example of a dog grooming business, right? There are so many. I mean, look at your own business and see how something would not really be relevant. Okay. All right. Then finally, remember we're talking about SMART. The last is that there must be time. When you're setting goals, you have to have time. When you want the goal to when you want the goal to actually be actualized, right? It's done, the goal. Now, usually, for example, you might say that, okay, I want my revenue to increase by 20% within the next 12 months. That is time. Within the next 6 months, that is, you're putting a time, not, oh, I want my revenue to increase by 20%. For over the period of 5 years? No, make sure, I'm not even saying that if revenue increases by 20% over the period of 5 years, I'm not even saying there's anything wrong with that, but well, I would say I would not like revenue to wait for 5 years to get to 20% increase. I would say that. But I'm just saying that make sure there's a timeline. Make sure that there's a date, a time. This is what you want, right? Revenue increases within a period of time. All right? This is what you want. Within 1 year, you want revenue to increase, right? Within a period of time. Okay, so make sure that your goals would have a time. Remember, measurement is one thing, but you want a timeline, right? You want a timeline, okay? You want, first of all, that it has to be specific, right? Your goal has to be specific. It has to be measurable. You must be able to measure the goal. You must be able to make sure it's attainable. It's something that is not impossible to attain. You also make sure that it's relevant, and also there's a time on it. All right, time on it. A time actually makes small business owner have, work harder and say, okay, this is it, right? And then I want to step back a little bit and talk about measurable. You have to also just, check if you have achieved that, that milestone. For example, you said you want to increase your revenue in the first every 1 month, maybe by 5%, 2%. Let's say this is January. In February, you should look back and say, oh my goodness, have I made that 5% increase? Have I made that 2% increase? If you haven't made that 2% increase, go back to the drawing board and find out why. It could be that you're not marketing properly. It could be you're not doing what you're supposed to do. It could be any factor, but dig into that factor and say, okay, I didn't make the 2%. What happened? All right, what happened? So measurement also looks at accountability, right? Looking at, okay, yes, I said I was going to do this. How come this didn't happen? And then you can go back to the drawing board and correct it so that you are still on pace to reach that timeline. Okay, so make sure that measurement means you're not only measuring yourself, but also checking to see that, have you achieved that? Have you been able to achieve what you wanted to achieve? All right, so these are the factors that you have to look into, right? I really wanted to spend time. I really wanted to spend time. I know I usually have segments, but I really wanted to spend time because you can't just continue to exist as a small business. You have to move forward and say, you know what do I need to do to actually do that? Actually move forward. What is it that I need to do? What are specifics that I need to do to move forward? So again, SMART. Again, you can do your research, but it's something to do with it's goals is a way a mnemonics really. Of course, I'm not giving myself credit for it. I didn't come up with the mnemonics. I did some research and I found out that a lot of businesses are using that to make sure that they're successful. right? That's what, and I felt that this was, it was important for me to share it, right? Again, it's not, I didn't come up with it, but I'm just sharing it. So hopefully it will help somebody. Again, smart. And everyone, every goal you have, it could be, and I mean, I would just say here that you don't have to have 20 goals or 50 goals or two, you can have a couple, 5, 10, 3, 4, but make sure you work towards achieving those goals. Make sure you're able to, make sure, you're working towards that, right? I mean, people make, I just look at people that make so many New Year resolutions, and they can't really keep up, right? So I would say just make a few and track those few. I mean, when it comes to New Year, of course, but really I'm talking about businesses, right? I mean, track it, see what you can do to make sure that at the end of the year, I would say that don't even wait to the end of the year, right? I would say that, as I said, continue checking weekly, monthly. Where are you? Where do you stand? Go back to the drawing board. Do you need to change things around? Do you need to move things? Is there anything you need to do, right? Make sure, as I said, in last year I mentioned, and somebody actually came and appeared on this program, a marketing specialist. And, you have to make sure you're looking at marketing, looking at getting your name brand out, make sure you know your target market, okay? Make sure you know. So it could be that you're just marketing everywhere. Remember, I gave an example of someone that went to get the address of somebody that is into cats and different pets, while you are a dog groomer, right? That is off point. So if you don't, you must have your target market to know where you market to. All right, where is it that you're marketing to? All right, or who you're marketing to. All right. Okay, so I just hope that helps somebody. And again, as we're starting this 2023, we're starting it strong. Remember, the goal is to make sure your business thrives. Okay, starting is strong. All right, awesome. Okay, so I'll just jump into the question right now. Again, I want to spend time to really go into that. Well, I'm going to schedule our guests going forward here and there. You would see, again, people that come to do like to share their problems or their business problems. I'm not a psychologist, so I'll say business issues. I can try my best to see what I can resolve. So I'm just talking about business issues here. And of course, we have specialists that are coming to help us out, to help us with, especially with IT, different areas, outsource, all kinds of areas. Have specialists that are coming and speak. All right. Okay. So let's go directly to the questions. I have some little time to just go into the questions. And of course, as I said, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. You have my go to the website and just make sure that that you can email or send a question, right? Okay. So usually I would the website would the website after the program, information on how to get across to me will be provided. Okay. Now questions. Okay. The first one is it okay to travel as a small business owner? Okay. I'm thinking that you mean traveling and leave the small business, or I think that's what I guess that's because I would not say travel. Of course you can travel whether you're a small business owner or not, but if it's related to the business, I'm thinking you mean that travel and leave the business should continue. It's okay for the business to continue running if you travel. Well, if that's what you meant, I would say yes. A lot of people get so worried that, okay, how can they take a vacation or travel? I know we were just in the holiday season. Many people traveled in the month of December, and some people are still out there. They are coming back in this month of January, So I know a lot of times people that have small businesses they don't want to travel, right? They're worried that if they travel, somebody would not sell products for them. They don't want to delegate or give somebody to run the business. I would say that you surely can give somebody else to run the business as you are out of town. Now, usually the fear is that, okay, will this person steal from me? Yes, that's the fear. Now, if you put some specific safeguards in place, I mean, I know I mentioned it, I think in 2 or 3 episodes before today. If you put certain safeguards in place, it will be difficult for the person to steal. And if that person steals from you, be able to you can actually catch the person, I would say, because of the specific guardrails you put in your store. Now, I would also say that get people, get them train people, get people that are working for you, right? Train them, train people working for you. Let them be comfortable in handling, things, when you are when you're available, right? So that you step back and watch them, so that if they make mistakes, you can correct them, you can correct them. And, as time goes on, they're comfortable working when you're not available. All right. When you're not there. All right. So it's so important for you to make sure you train people that are working with you, right? Now, some people, as I mentioned, people that are dog groomers, sometimes they're not the only person. They might have someone that works with them. There might be people that are into, that might be selling products, right? So in that case, we'll discuss further on that. But generally, I would say that just put some guardrails in place. I know I discussed this before, to make sure that, yes, somebody else can step into your shoes while you're away, or step in your shoes while you're away, and there's no problem. There's no problem, right? Again, guardrails are very important. So yes, go ahead. It's not bad to travel, to have, travel if you want to, but again, put the necessary guardrails in place so that nobody can, or you can, you make sure that your money is guarded, make sure that, that things are not taken away, like people are not stealing from you. All right. So make sure. Okay. So again, delegate, make sure you're delegating while you're in the office. Make sure you're training people so that you can actually say, okay, yeah, I'm satisfied. This lady, this man, they know what they're doing, and that's fine. All right. And so because of that, I'm comfortable to travel. Right. So yes, I mean, now it depends on what you do. Small business owners, they can actually work, even wherever they want to work. But it depends on what kind of business you have, and how you set it up. 2 things. So I would say yes, it's okay to travel, because I don't believe the question was, is it okay to travel as a small business owner? I think you meant if you need to leave the business and travel. So I think that's what meant. So, okay. Another question I have here is, I am worried about security when outsourcing. What job should I outsource? Okay. I know that I've been pushing for outsourcing. The reason why I push for outsourcing is because we have, small businesses, as I always say, we as small business owners, I would say generally, the small business owners have limited resources. And I know that outsourcing makes the work, cheaper. Makes it, you get a lot of bang for your buck. I would say that like that. So I would say that I know that when you talk about security, because the question is that I'm worried about security when outsourcing, what job should I outsource? Now, before you think of outsourcing, make sure you know the company you're outsourcing to, right? I mentioned this when I specifically dedicated a whole program, or a section of a program, to outsourcing. Who are you outsourcing? Who are you outsourcing to? Don't make sure that they are compliant. Now, if you're a healthcare business, you have to make sure that some specifics like HIPAA, this is that company is compliant with HIPAA. But even if you're not into healthcare, you must make sure that the company you're working for is reputable. The company you're outsourcing, not working, outsourcing to is reputable. You make sure that they have the necessary licenses to make licenses to make sure that they're IT compliant. There's some licenses out there they have to have, and you have the right to ask them that, okay, this is what I heard. Do you have, this is what I want to do. Do you have certain licenses to make sure that my data is secured? So whether you're outsourcing data for IT, for payroll, for accounting, make sure that, the person that or the company you're outsourcing to is really a reputable company, right? It's a reputable company. So yes, I understand what you mean about security. Some company even actually stress that, okay, we have US-based, centers. So maybe you don't want yours to be handled by any foreign company. You make sure you state that, right? I don't want my data to leave the United States or to leave Europe, wherever you are. Every country, I know Europe has their own specific, they don't want data to leave, because privacy and all kinds of. So you ask for this information, ask that, okay, this is what you want. And you want to see the licenses. Now, most of these companies are reputable. They are open to show you their license and say, yes, we're licensed this, we can do this work, secured here, we're secured that. So you have the right to ask those questions. Okay? You have the right to ask those questions. All right? And so, yes, I know you say you're worried about security, but what helps is for you to ask questions and honestly make sure that everything you ask for is given to you when it comes to security, when it comes to NSO, whatever is required. And of course, make sure it's a reputable company that you are outsourcing to. All right. Okay, the next question. Okay, we have a little time. So I want to expand my business beyond my brick and mortar store. How do I do that? I think I spoke about this before, but just in case you haven't listened or watched my channel, it's very important for you to look into online sales. And now to do online sales, you have to have a very good website. You must upload, all your products must be uploaded online. It's not, you have to make sure that, that your online store is very, very, very good. good. When I say good, it's working. The sales, the selling on the online store is working very well. Now, I know that sometimes people say, you know what, I don't want to invest in having my own website, take care of, with all the e-commerce. I want to go and look at other companies. There are companies out there that you can actually piggyback on top, and they can work with you so that you can actually set up your online sales very, very easily. Very, very easily. So I would say that, yes, it's great to have a very good online store, especially if you have, I would say that people that have a brick and mortar store, they might want to actually have their own really, online platform like their website. But if you find it's very difficult, go with those websites that are already established. You can look it up. There are so many of them. So look it up and say, if you want to do online sales and say, okay, how do I go about it? Is there any company that is out there that's already doing that so that you can actually piggyback on it and just go with that? So that might be a faster way to set it up. But if you want to expand your business beyond your brick and mortar store, my answer is make sure you have a very good online store. Make sure you have a very good online store. Okay. So that is what I would say. Now a lot of people buy online. It's very easy to, and most of the delivery now is like next day or 2 days later. So, some of them are more than that. But generally, if you want to do online and want to expand your business, think of doing online sales. Okay. All right. I think we have time for a little. Let me see if I can answer one or two more, then we're done with that today. So I want to start a side hustle, but I do not know how to go about it. Okay. I believe somebody asked this question before, but I'm always open to answer the question. Always, right? I would say, I know a lot of people would just say, you know what, go ahead and start. But I would say identify what you want to do, first of all. Some people are talented in so many areas, but I would say look at the area that you do well, do best in, right? I know someone that's very good in event planning, very good in interior decoration. So look at what is it that you want. What really stands out that people, stands out and say, okay, you can really do well in this area, right? So I would say, think of what you like doing, right? What is it that and then move that way. Start by knowing what you want to do. And then from there, I would say, then just set up the business. What do you need to do? Some people start with a doing business as. I always say it's very important for you to start with a limited liability company so that you can separate yourself from the business, right? So if anything happens to the business, I know it's a startup, but anything happens to the business, they don't come after your own property, right? So I would say start with a limited liability company. And then also, I would say that, make sure you have an EIN specific to that company, right? Of course, EIN is specific to the company. Make sure it's specific. Make sure you get a separate EIN for that company. Then, of course, open a bank account. Please do not commingle. Do not mix your personal funds with your business accounts. Do not do that. Do not mix your personal funds with your business funds. That's what I'm saying. Open a separate business account. Every transaction from your business, let it come out of your business. Now you might say, but your business doesn't really have money at the beginning and they have some bills to pay. I always say, make it clean, write a check from your personal account to your business, or transfer money from your business account and let the business pay you back when you start making revenue, if you want to make it like that. Some people just say, you know what, I'm giving that business as equity, like just a form of ownership. I contributed this amount to the business to start. So please do not mix your personal funds with your business funds, okay? There's so many negative implications from that. There's a whole program on that. I already spoke about it. I think you should just spend some time, go through my videos, and then you see the implication of mixing your business funds with your personal funds. All right. Okay. So, we have a few more minutes. I will answer the last question. Is it better to take a business loan from my family or from the bank? Well, if your family wants to give you a business loan, there's nothing wrong with that. But one thing that people do that they make a mistake, right? And the mistake is that there's no clear-cut agreements between families. And I've seen that it causes problems. So I would say that there's nothing wrong with taking money from your family. Remember, if you take a loan from the bank, they write their agreements upon agreements upon agreements. Now, I know that's your sibling. I know that's your aunt, your cousin, your nephew, your niece. I know you guys are family, but I always say that to prevent issues, make sure that there's an agreement. Oh, you know what? I'm going to take this money for this number of months. I'm going to return it. Let there be an agreement. An agreement should be in place, because I always see this, and I don't like telling people that, oh, there's a fraud. No, I would say that, you know what, people make mistakes. There's misrepresentation. I said something and the other person didn't really comprehend, or did not really comprehend, did not hear it like that. But if things are written down, oh, this is the amount, this is how much I'm going to get back, it's all well and good. So make sure you really, really sit back and really make sure that there's agreements in place. You don't want to have issues with your family down the line. We love our family, but if there's no agreement or no clear-cut agreement of knowing what is what is expected of the person in respect of repayment, there becomes an issue. All right. So it was so exciting. This is the first show in 2023. I'm very excited. Looking forward to seeing you all next week. Have a wonderful evening. So bye for now. Okay. Have a good one. Bye. And of course, for details on how to get in touch with me, please listen for a few seconds. Thanks for having me. Remember to join my live podcast on Tuesdays, 6 to 6:45 p.m. Central Standard Time. Visit my website, dreniadesnia.com, for details. Till next time, bye for now.